Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing another tag video, and this is the 7 deadly sins of reading. I first saw this video on Reading with Jack and I really enjoyed watching it, so I wanted to get involved. I haven't been tagged yet, but I will be tagging a few of you to do it as well. So keep watching and we'll get on to the tag. Okay, so the first question in the 7 deadly sins of reading is greed. What is your most expensive book and what is your least expensive book? Now, I don't actually have it with me, but it is a signed limited edition copy of Carte Blanche by Jeffrey Deaver. This is one of the ones as part of the new ones of the James Bond series. Now, I really like Jeffrey Deaver and I love his writing style, and I really enjoyed the James Bond movies as well. I have to admit, I still haven't read the books though. So I thought this would be a great book to get as a limited edition, as a signed copy as well. And so I snatched it up on Amazon when it first came out. It turned out that I didn't enjoy the book as much as I thought, and I actually bought 2 copies of the book. I bought a reading copy and a copy to keep sealed as well. But it was my most expensive book. I don't remember how much it was, but I remember it was a lot of time, maybe £15–20, so not a huge amount. But that's my most expensive book. My least expensive book is actually one of my favourite Kelly Armstrong books. This is Personal Demon from the Women of the Otherworld series. When I started reading this book, I was borrowing them off my friend Sam, and I picked up this one as I saw it in a charity shop for the grand total of 99p. Now, this is a fantastic book. If you'd go and buy this book on Amazon in either a past print copy or on Kindle, I only think you'll pay £3, £4, £5, maybe more if you've got the hard copy. And yeah, I thought it was a great snatch at 99p, so I'm really happy with that one. The second one is Wrath. Which author do you have a love-hate relationship with? And this has to be Stephenie Meyer. If you love the Twilight books or you hate the Twilight books, it doesn't really matter. But I was a great lover of Twilight. I came into it at just the right time when the hype was getting big, but there wasn't too many teen kind of fangirls around it, and I loved Edward. He was an awkward character, but I liked him. Bella, you love to hate her, and I was a big fan. I was Team Jacob, I must admit. But the reason Stephenie Meyer is my Wrath author is because of the host. Now, I love Twilight and I really enjoyed it, and I even brought the story about Bree Tanner as well, and I absolutely loved it. It felt so easy to read. But when I picked up the host, I was first shocked by the size of this book. It took me so long to get through, and the concept of the book was fantastic, but something was missing, something was wrong. It was too long was its main problem, and I just couldn't get over that. So that's the reason that I really love Hater, because I loved her for writing Twilight, and I loved the concept of the host. I think she fails, and one of the things I hate about her the most is the all-seeing, all-loving love. It overcomes everything, it can heal everybody, and it doesn't matter as long as you love someone. Love doesn't pay the bills, baby. So yeah, Stephenie Meyer is my love-hate. The next one is Gluttony. Which book have you deliciously devoured over and over with no shame whatsoever? Now this has to be a Harry Potter one. I believe it was Order of the Phoenix. I'd gone on a family holiday and I'd only taken one book with me. I know, big mistake for a bookworm. But that happened to be Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. And I read it once. Then I went back and read my favourite chapter, and then I went back and read it again, and again, and again, and I must have read it 5 or 6 times on just one holiday. You can see why I've got quite a bad reputation to go on family holidays with, because I'm a little tiny bit antisocial when it comes to those sorts of things. But when it came to the next book coming out, I reread the whole series, and again, and again, and again. And I grew up with J.K. Rowling's writing style. I grew up with those books, and I love them, and I will devour them again, I assure you. The next one is Sloth. What book have you neglected reading due to laziness? Now, I'm going to encompass this into series, because there's 2 series in particular that I'd love to read, but I'm just too lazy. The first one is Lord of the Rings by Tolkien. I've started reading The Hobbit, and I'm nearly finished. I just can't bring myself to finish it. And it's a lovely book. It's so my genre. It's really well written. But it just seems that every time I close the book, I'm thinking about the book I want to read next, and I just never seem to come back to it. And then along that with the rest of the Lord of the Rings books, I can't get round to it. There's always something that I want to read more. The second series is the Game of Thrones. My best friend Sam goes on and on about this book and the series, but again, it's the side. Yeah, I just can't be bothered to read that much. It would take over too much of my life to read one series. So the next one is Pride. What book do you talk about? Do you most talk about in order to sound like a very intellectual reader? Now, I don't really like the idea of becoming an intellectual reader. I like young adult books. I love fantasy and supernatural books. And I never really think much about people's perception of my intelligence by my book choice. So I'm going to answer from the perspective of the books that I talk about the most. And that has to be Harry Potter again. It was something that I grew up with, and I love getting into debates, particularly about that very controversial last chapter of the final book with Harry Potter being all grown up and everything happy ending. And personally, I think it was completely unnecessary, and I will argue that down to the ground. And I talk about that book a lot, and I think it's one of those series that you should have read, and if you haven't, I guess I do judge other people on it. So it has to be something that doesn't make me look intelligent, but something that I have read a lot and I talk about a lot. I'm a mini Harry Potter expert. Next one is lust. What attributes do you find most attractive in a male or female character? Now, for some reason, fantasy books seem to have a lot of female characters, and I really look for a strong female character that has her flaws, but is also someone that we grow with and someone that recognises their fault and a real character that builds. But when it comes to male characters, it has to be the personified character of clay. There's someone that is rough around the edges, attractive and doesn't know it, and Southern American accent must not hurt, but there's something about the animalistic side to him, and completely devoted to Alina as well. So I love Clay, he's attractive. And the final one is envy. Which books would you most like to receive as a gift? Now, this one is by J.K. Rowling. It is her new adult book, which the name of which has completely slipped my head. I think I have The Librarian in my head, but I'm pretty sure it's not that. I'm not sure. But that ebook is £10. That is a lot of money for an ebook. I know that J.K. Rowling's not a huge fan of ebooks. She'd much rather be the paper or hardback book lover, and she's only literally just brought the Harry Potter books out in ebook. But I really like that. I really like to read it, and I don't want to pay that much, and so it might be something that I go to my local Waterstones and pre-order, because I think they've got a good deal on it for just under £10 as well. So that is the book I most like to receive as a book, as a gift. Other books that I'd also like to get my hands on but don't have the funds for at the moment is the Ugly series by Scott Westerfield. I've heard a lot about it from other bloggers and you booktubers, and I've never got a chance to go around and read it. I have been told that it's in the library, but for some reason me and libraries seem to cost more than just buying the book in the first place, because my to-be-read pile is ever-changing, and if I get something at the library, it often has fines occurred to it later on in the year, so I tend to avoid them at the second. But yeah, so that is my 7 deadly sins of reading. I hope you have enjoyed watching it. I do have a few people to tag. The first one is Grazing Pages. I really enjoy watching your videos, and I would really like to know what your 7 deadly sins of reading are. And I can't think of anyone. And I'd also like to see the 7 deadly sins of the Arty Angel. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye!